And here we are.
We are. This is a momentous one.
This is history
Down with Boring.
making. It's history making.
It is. Aside from just being another week of Down with Boring, this is the first one that me and Jamie have done in person.
In person, real. I've never met Jake before, so this was really bizarre.
I wasn't convinced Jamie was real.
Yeah. I had a preconception in my mind of exactly how Jake looked, and
let's just say less legs, more arms.
more hair.
Oh, charming.
In all sorts of ways.
Christ.
But welcome.
Yep, so we're face to face. What we're going to do, for anyone interested in the audio technical side of things,
Yes, of course.
is what we normally do. Jamie's recording in his house and I'm recording in mine, and we're standing halfway between them and talking louder.
Yeah. So so we can see each other. It's just the nice things we like to try because it's been so long.
Exactly.
And now we can work it out together, all in one place. So it's a very nice time. It's a very nice time. We're gathered finally in person. Didn't think this day would ever come.
I hoped it wouldn't, and yet here we are.
Look at us. Look at us now.
Who would have thought it?
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? Welcome.
Down with Boring.
Welcome, though.
New music. Dork.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. If you still need an introduction to the show at this point,
well, some people might just be tuning into the radio.
Yeah, maybe.
I believe we've hijacked 3 to 4 frequencies that are normally kept by BBC Three Counties.
The letters we get from the DJs up there, they're furious. That's all we're going to
Please
say.
fix the Bedford potholes and stop swearing.
Does this mean we're like pirate radio now at this point?
Yeah, I think we have to live on a boat in the North Sea.
Would you enjoy that?
No, not at all. The North Sea's horrible as well. Isn't the North Sea really wavy? Like,
I think it might.
I'm pretty sure it's like a bad sea to be in.
Yeah.
And they lived on that boat
for a very long
time, so that they could play music.
The things you do, like this.
That seems really over the top. This seems over the top. That seems really over the top.
This seems long.
Yeah, this seems like a lot, considering. Yeah. But that seems ridiculous.
We've got a good show here today. We've got Jade Bird.
We have, yes, and because we don't broadcast from a boat in the North Sea, that was relatively easy to arrange. Yet another advantage of not broadcasting from a boat in the North Sea.
Let's see how we go. Like, we could be driven off land anytime soon.
I do feel like the film The Boat That Rocked would be a lot less interesting if it had been us.
What, in this room together?
Yeah.
Broadcasting to the
world.
I
don't really understand what the plot or the
who would play you in that film.
Well, interestingly, the person who would play me is here right now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the Dork mailbag, Jamie.
No,
it's been here
I've waited so long to see this in person, ladies and gentlemen, and Jake's about to get it out.
Well,
and, pause.
Here it is,
Pause.
Jamie. Here it is. Sorry for the dripping.
What is that?
Well, it does drip. It might look like a whole cod.
Yes.
But it's the mailbag. This is all I had to put the things in this week. I didn't realize you were coming, or I would have tidied up. Put the letters in.
To put the things in.
Well, because they don't come in the mailbag; they get delivered to the mailbag.
Right, of course. Yeah. So you have to make it work there in that situation.
Yeah, I just have whatever I have to hand. I just say to the postman, stick him in, and it was a whole cod today.
Just there.
Yeah, I was going to make a dinner, but now I'm going hungry because it's full of letters.
So now there is a damp fish sitting in between us.
Well, I'd say it's more oily.
Okay.
Moist and oily.
Sorry.
Cod isn't normally an oily fish, so that's quite worrying, I think.
Yeah.
If it was a herring, maybe a mackerel, that'd be fine.
That'd be fine.
I guess cod livers are oily, aren't they? You can get cod liver oil, so maybe the liver has been burst by one of the letters.
Whereabouts is the liver in a cod?
I don't know. You have a look.
Have a look.
Rummage around.
2 takes. Found it. Looks, I'm going to put that back.
I've never seen something natural be so green.
It was luminous. It talked to me.
Oh, God. Well, anyway, the mailbag is here. I'm glad that you finally seen it in person. It changes forms. It's a wily one. It's a spicy one. But it's here every week.
I think 1 week you gave up at one point.
No.
It's there.
It's always there.
But obviously waiting for more messages and, questions.
Well, an interesting amount of questions. Another historic week. Two.
Oh, the classic.
But there's no saying that one or two extra ones weren't dissolved by the luminous liver of the cod.
Maybe that's where we're going wrong. Maybe
by not putting them in a tray.
Or an envelope.
Well, they come in an envelope, but...
goes back into the little fella.
Take them out the envelope into the cod. Because I've got to screen them for anything offensive. A lot of the ones we get through are very, very offensive about you, and I don't want your heart broken.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, they're really sarcastic. But like Jamie's really good at what he does.
Sarcastic.
Jamie's better than Jake. Yeah, it's real. Like
sarcastic.
They're making fun of you. Yeah. You can tell.
You can tell, can you?
You know, Jamie's handsome and possesses all of his eyes.
Right. Well, thank you for doing that, because that would hurt me.
They're making fun of
sarcastic.
You.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
It's like when you were at school. Remember?
Yes. Yeah. And they famously said,
they said,
don't check the mailbag.
Yeah. They said, get your hands out of that damp cod, Jamie.
And I was like, I'm looking for letters.
No matter how oily it is,
I'm looking for letters.
You'll find no letters for you in there, Mr. Muir.
What do we
You'll not find anything for you in there, Mr. Muir.
Just me scrounging around.
Back with you.
Please, sir. Can I have some more letters, please?
So in this situation, you're at school on a whaling boat and you're a Cockney orphan for some reason. Anyway, moving on to the mailbag. Whenever you're ready.
What have we got this week?
We've got a letter here from Nicole from Whitby.
Oh,
yeah, good Scampi.
Famous Scampi. Yeah, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
If Whitby is famous for anything else, of course, do let us know.
Do you know what a Scampi is?
I couldn't point it out in a lineup.
It's like the tail of a crayfish or a langoustine or something, or a little lobster.
What? So it's not like
it's not its own thing.
I thought it was a little fella.
It's not. And most of the Scampi you get in the shop is made of loads of other little bits of Scampi mushed together.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a shame.
So fuck you, Whitby.
Yeah.
Unless you're making the good Scampi, in which case, like, you know, keep on keeping on. Loads of lobsters in Whitby with no tails bobbling around. That's how they make crabs.
We're talking about this, like the mutilation now of the fish community in Whitby.
Well, crustaceans.
Okay.
They're like big insects.
Oh, well, thank God.
Really.
Thank God.
Anyway, Nicole from Whitby, wonderful place. Thank you, Nicole. Says, if you had to live on a boat, what type of boat would it be?
Oh,
interesting that's tied in actually with what we were talking about.
What we were talking about earlier. Yeah, that's
amazing.
Quite weird, actually.
Serendipitous.
So living on a boat, right? Living on a boat.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna. I mean, a yacht feels like the easy bet, doesn't it?
Yeah, bit Tory, isn't it? People wouldn't like you.
So do you mean I should live in one of those? You know, when like, and I only feel this happened when I was young, like when we were younger. I don't feel like I've seen it recently. The people who do like the around the world in like 70 days stuff where they live.
That's true. That was seemed to be like a small craze for a while.
I haven't heard about it in like about 10 years. People doing that. Like, is that still a thing?
Maybe it's like it coincided with like David Blaine in his box. You know, like these things happen
they were
in pairs,
inspired.
Right? So some people wanted to travel as much as possible in a box.
Yes.
Whereas David Blaine wanted to travel as little as possible in his box.
That
must have been it.
So it was almost like a balancing
mania.
act.
Yeah. Yin and yang. Yeah. Perfectly balanced.
A balancing act between them all. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, a yacht makes sense though. Like, well, it depends. What's the difference between a yacht and like a cruise ship? Is it just pure size?
Well, I think function as well, because a cruise ship is designed to hold hundreds of people,
and
the yacht is designed for the pleasure of one owner, whereas a cruise ship is designed for the boredom of many hundreds.
I think I'm more cruise ship.
But then you'd have to have the other people on the cruise ship, otherwise you'd go mad.
Yeah, but I quite enjoy that. I think there's, a bit of cabaret.
Cruise ships are too big, aren't they?
They're very large, aren't they? And the problem is once you're on it, it's like you're there for like very long time.
But some of them have like, like multiple bars on them. And I'm like, it's a boat. We all know we're on a boat. We've all chosen to be on a boat. So like, stop. You don't have to bring up multiple bars to make it feel like we're not on a boat.
It'd be like a large coach, wouldn't it? Or a large bus with like multiple bars.
Or like multiple like trolleys going down with the same snacks on them. Because that's the other thing. These bars are all got the same stock.
Yeah. It's not like they're getting anything new, are they?
You're on a boat.
Yeah, you're stuck there. I'd go for a cruise or No, I think more cruise than yacht. I feel like that's more, togetherness. What about you? To be fair, I don't really know any other real type of boats, really, apart from like a sailing boat. But
I think I'd go for a canoe.
A canoe?
No, a kayak.
A kayak to live on?
Yeah, well, obviously, if it doesn't spark joy, you should remove it from your life. And I don't really like boats, so I'd go for the smallest possible boat.
So your option is, I don't enjoy this, I have to live on this, therefore I'm going to make it as insignificant as possible.
Exactly. I don't want to be the boat guy. You'd be the boat guy because your boat's so large, people couldn't ignore it, right?
Of course.
Whereas for me, I could be in the pub in the kayak and it would just look like I'm sitting on the floor.
Actually, I've got another shout for you. You know, like a canal boat?
Oh, yeah.
That's actually, I think that's a shout.
That's a good shit, yeah.
Actually, I'll change my answer to that.
I tried to say, that's good shit and that's a good shout, and I said, that's a good shit. Good stuff. Let's move on.
We're nailing it. We're nailing it, everyone.
Face to face is too much. Sensory overload.
Yeah.
Also, anyone at home wondering, I had my second vaccination today, so if I pass out halfway through,
and you're left with just me propping up his body,
or I start emitting magnetic waves or something,
we'll see what happens. It'll take us both. So wonderful stuff. First time recording
Bill
together.
Gates, if you're listening, you are contractually obliged to finish this podcast if you off either one of us while we're making it.
Shout out Vista. Not to be confused with the band Vistas,
no,
of course, famously.
The forgotten upgrade, I think.
Of course. Yeah.
Like, weirdly, what was it? Windows 98, Windows XP, Windows Vista, and then Windows 7?
Yeah, it jumped very quickly. Jumped very quickly.
And then I don't think there was a Windows 9. No, Windows 8, Windows 10.
No, they just gave up at that point.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, welcome to the music podcast, everyone. Downward boring.
Well, anyway, Lawrence from Streatham says, "Hi, Dork, wallpaper, yes or no?"
Yes. Strong yes.
I'm a strong no. Moving on. Music news.
Thank you, Lawrence. We said we'd answer it. We didn't say for how long.
That's true. We spent too long on the boats. We spent too long on the boats.
We certainly did. Yeah, let's get into some music news. Let me start with some fashion, Jake. How do you feel about fashion?
Yep, I wear clothes.
You look very fashionable right now.
I wear clothes. So
he certainly does. Let me talk to you about Frank Ocean.
Okay.
He has opened a new store in New York. It's so basically.
Before we move on, they always open them in like New York, don't they? It's either New York or LA or London.
Or London,
right?
Or London.
What's wrong with York? Newcastle?
Manchester?
Yeah, exactly. Syracuse?
Blue Water Shopping Centre?
Cincinnati?
Brent Cross Shopping Centre?
Stratford Shopping Centre?
White City Shopping Centre? Basically, just go to shopping centres. We don't need to.
Yeah, the Gilborn Centre in Worthing has a load of space.
Shout out for any of the listeners, obviously, who frequent that establishment. So he's opened a new store in New York for Homer, which is his independent American luxury company.
Okay.
So he first kind of revealed this kind of like last week. You're looking at some like jewelry pieces, printed silk scarves, fully into that. But now it has a physical place to go. To pick up this stuff in New York. So Frank Ocean deciding not to put out more music, which everyone is waiting for. Instead just going, maybe just get into the fashion game. So strong stuff. How do you feel about Frank Ocean going in this direction?
Well, my issue is Frank Ocean said it was called Homer.
Yes, it's
called Homer to symbolize, like, what was it? The permanence of something carved into stone, or something like that.
Something like that. Yes.
So obviously he's going like Homer's been around for thousands of years. I assume the author.
Yes.
Is that what he's going for?
I'm
not the Simpson, and I don't really know any other Homers. And if that's symbolizing being carved into stone, Homer's work was famously transmitted by word of mouth for hundreds of years before being written down.
Yes.
So he's picked, I think, the worst possible name for this company. He's picked the only really, really big written work I can think of.
Yes.
That was not written down for hundreds of years before it was written down.
That's number one. So the name is your issue to start with.
And also, like, he said, like, he doesn't want it to be any less expensive than, like, Cartier. And I'm like, fine, but
how much is...
Immediately,
Cartier?
no one's going to buy it. Like, very expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
So it's just like, oh, that's fun. But then, like, come on. We're not going to buy it, are we?
Yeah.
You and I?
No. Well, look, let's see how big we get from this. We're still waiting for that sponsorship
My
deal.
mother was into jewellery, but in a low-key Princess Diana kind of way.
I didn't think Princess Diana was low-key into jewellery.
That's an odd... what does that mean?
Like,
she wore jewellery?
Yeah. She was a member of the royal family, famous for bling, I would argue.
Yeah.
Amongst other things, which we won't dive into now.
My godfather was into guns, but he was also into cars. And he bought luxury lifestyle magazines, which I became obsessed with. What is this interview? So I'm launching a company that sells scarves. Why? Well, my mum was into jewellery and my godfather owned a car.
So he basically...
Thanks, I'm Frank Ocean. See you later.
Come buy the jewellery.
Yeah.
Interesting move. I'm sure it'll be very, very successful and he'll make a lot of money out of it.
Yeah, I think it might be like, there's the OVO store in London, which is the Drake one, which everyone forgets exists, basically.
Does it still exist now?
Yeah. It's
Does
permanent.
it actually?
Yeah, I walked past it.
Where is it?
It's in Soho. I walked past it a few weeks ago and I was like, oh, you're still here, are you?
Still knocking
I
about.
thought you were a pop-up.
Jesus.
So yeah, it could be that.
But anyway, good luck to Frank Ocean, small business owner.
Good luck.
Small business owner
exactly.
opening up. So, you got to respect it.
You got to support the small businesses in these trying times. Buy a silk scarf.
Very quickly, he also just got announced recently he's going to headline Coachella in 2023.
Yes.
Well in advance.
Wearing nothing but silk scarves.
God, I'd like a silk scarf.
A scarf dance from Frank Ocean. That's what he's going to headline with.
Fuck's sake. What will not be sold at the Frank Ocean store because it is not a part of his home brand?
He's blonde.
This is Nikes by Frank Ocean.
We'll let you guys prophesy. We'll let you guys prophesy. We gon' see the future first. We'll let you guys prophesy. We gon' see the future first. Living so the last night feels like a past life. Speaking of the don't know what got into people. Devil be possessing homies. Demons try to body jump. Why you think I'm in this bitch wearing a fucking yarmulke? Acid on me like the rain. Weed crumbles in the glitter. Rain, glitter. We laid out on this wet floor. Away turf, no asphalt.
So he is selling blonde.
Is he selling blonde?
Blonde.
Blonde. Do you reckon? I mean, you should just do some hair dye at this point.
Yeah. I like the green hair.
That was a good run. Yeah, that was a good run.
If you're selling silk scarves, though, you got to go au natural, haven't you? Can't be taken seriously in the silk. If you know what I mean.
I certainly do. Wink, wink.
Obvious, I would say.
We've got some more music news for you now. It's awards time, Jake. There's more of them. They're all happening. You can't stop
and yet
them.
Still, we have not won one.
Still. If anyone does want to nominate us for any awards, we will come. We'll do a great speech. That's all we're going to say.
We'll do a speech.
Yeah, debatable on the quality. Let me start.
I hope Harry Styles, Lewis Capaldi, and Celeste have been nominated for these awards before you go into them.
Well, thank God they have, Jake. Thank God.
Wow.
We're talking about the Ivor Novello Awards, which is like the best way to put it. It's like the songwriting awards per se. Quite a highbrow.
It's just another one, isn't it? Got to talk about 2 or 3 bits of news a week. This is news.
Are you trying to? Do you reckon we need to cut down on the awards? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I just think like if you were in someone's house and they went, "I've got the Mercury Prize. Here it is," you'd be like, "Oh shit, nice one." They said, "I've got a Grammy." You'd be like, "I recognise that." They say they got a Brit. You'd be like, "Yeah." If they said, "I got an Ivor Novello," there is a 50-50 chance they'd be like, "Oh, that sounds really painful. I'm sorry."
Where did they get you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right.
You'd be very
what does
concerned.
the trophy even look like? Is it a horrible one or is it a nice
I
one?
don't think it's too bad. Let me just get it up here.
Because some of them are just like horrible bits of glass, and then it's like, come
I don't
on,
think it's
do me a favour.
Too bad. Let me have a look. I don't know if they change it every year like the Brits. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God, what is that? Hold on a second. It's a git. What's that?
Oh, maybe that is
like
Ivor Novello.
It's like a lady.
Is that a lady
with a book?
Well, they've got the bloody category.
To be fair, an interesting.
Yeah, that's good.
Design.
I would like that trophy.
That's actually a decent design. Yeah. We'll give him that. We'll give you that. Bunch of people nominated, as we mentioned. Harry Styles, Lewis Capaldi, Celeste, but also some dork favourites.
I really enjoy the category best song musically and lyrically. That's okay. So best song.
Yeah, so the song.
Yeah.
The song, basically. A bunch of favourites. Fontaine's DC nominated. Arlo Parks nominated. AJ Tracy. Harry Styles, also you mentioned before.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima.
And your favourite
game score.
And your favourite, Joel Corey, as well.
Oh yes, I know who that is.
Tremendous stuff. Ashnico and Dave as well. Look at that. It's great stuff.
Dracula is nominated for Best Television Soundtrack.
Do you reckon we could get him on the show?
Dracula?
Yeah.
I emailed him and he said, no fucking chance.
Yeah, I also asked, I DM'd him and he said, bite me.
Well, no, he would bite you. That doesn't work at all.
We've got some other awards as well, talking about awards season.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about the VMAs in comparison?
Yeah, a lot of time they get called for the VMA awards, don't they? I don't like that. Video Music Awards, that doesn't make any sense.
Why does it not make sense? You got videos, you got music, the whole shebang. Some big names nominated here.
Any surprising
the heavyweights.
Pick out a surprising one for me.
You want a surprising one? It's a few songs that we've played on the show, so that means we're...
That is surprising. We are tastemakers.
Oh god, I'm trying to find someone completely out of the blue here. Hold on. How do you feel about Evanescence?
Best rock.
Wake Me Up Inside.
Not best rock song, best rock video, just best rock. She had a really nice rock.
I don't think it's based on the jewellery.
Hey, it could just be a stone. Video for good. That's an interesting category.
Oh, that's quite nice though, isn't it? So, yeah. But what goods?
That's a very loaded one. Like what?
Who's the winner of that? Who's the most good?
Is it the best video that's about something good, or is it just the best thing?
Good video.
Could it be a really bad video that's about something really good?
Anyone at the VMAs that wants to let us know, give us a shout. We'd really, really appreciate it. But yeah, a good
live audience this year, isn't there?
Live audience
wasn't last year.
No, they're all back together.
That's exciting if you care.
It's always a big show. There's always like big performances.
That's true, and they do a Europe one too, don't they?
They certainly do. It all goes on. It all happens. So
the only time twice a year when anyone is reminded that MTV exists. So that's nice.
Christ, here we are. We're sending shade on the stream.
MTV. If you're listening, no one's listening to you. So.
This is what happens when we come together. It's just the pure send. What I will say, though, one such nominated act is our good friends Glass Animals. By good friends, I mean we just like their music. They haven't been on the show or anything.
They're not, well, you didn't say friends of the show, so that wasn't.
No, they're not friends of the show, but they're just maybe friends, that we'd hope. But they've been nominated for a few awards. So in recognition of that, let's have a listen. This is Heat Waves by Glass Animals.
Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now.
And what a song it is, Jay.
And what a song. Did you know, Jake, that another person that's nominated is Machine Gun Kelly?
It's not a very good signal to be giving to the kids, is it? Nominating someone with a name like that.
Sorry, we're the prudest show now, are we? We're just like, we've had enough here. We're
just saying.
Just saying.
No, yes, of course. Machine Gun Kelly, famous for being a rapper and then meeting Travis Barker and it having such an effect on his psyche that he became the biggest act in pop punk.
He certainly did. Yeah, we've talked about him before. We've got some more news for you here.
Jamie, before we go into the news, how would you, if you were to announce an album, how would you do it?
I would launch basically a Pokemon Go game. Like a version of that around the streets of London.
Jamie Muir Go.
Yeah. Muirkemon.
Muirkemon Go.
Muirkemon
Go.
Muirkemon Eileen, as the song famously goes. It's great to be back, everyone. Muirkemon Eileen. Yeah, I'd probably do that because then you get to be interactive, see a load of people. That'd be quite nice. What about you? What would you do?
I would get Born with horns tattooed on my forearm.
Any reason why it's born with horns?
I'll probably work that out later.
Okay. But what's
the news?
What's the news though? Is the news that Machine Gun Kelly and Travis Barker have got matching tattoos to announce Machine Gun Kelly's new album?
I think it might be. Yeah.
Born with horns.
It might be, yeah.
It's a strong move. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think it's weird to broadcast to the world that you were born with a boner.
Fuck's sake.
No, to be fair, I do actually. I mean, this makes sense because they're both covered in tattoos, right?
Yes.
But I do find something quite endearing about pop punk as a genre because, they're covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
They're huge.
Yeah.
They're in like a rock band, right?
Yes.
And yet, time and time again, these bands always manage to be like incredibly uncool. There is something so like endearingly uncool about getting born with horns tattooed on your arm as a grown man.
I rate
even the name itself. Like,
born with horns.
Imagine saying that in a conversation. Someone being like, "So, would you say you're a bad boy?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, I was born with horns."
Yeah, I'll be honest. It's a strong.
It's a lot, isn't it?
It's a strong move. I'll be honest with you. But fair play to him. Might as well dive on him. Does Travis Barker have to do this with every single person that he works with?
Well,
because, he's running out of room. Surely,
if you look, he's got it tattooed over existing tattoos.
So he's running out of room.
Well, he's run out of room.
He's run out of room.
So yeah, I guess the sky's the limit, isn't it?
Sky's the limit.
So you collaborate with Travis Barker.
Yeah.
You get him to agree to do an album with you, and then you think of the funniest name that you can.
Maybe that's that what Machine Gun Kelly's done. He's gone, I'll tell you what, be fucking sort of born with horns. If we can dive on
forgetting that he's also got to get it done.
Yeah. And he's like, shit. To be fair, I think this is actually a tradition for Machine Gun Kelly. I read somewhere that he actually gets the name of his tattooed on him for every single album.
That's so uncool.
Where do you think the first album tattoo was on his body?
I think the first one makes sense, but after that, it's like, all right,
He just likes the albums. It's a tradition now.
Well, only because he's made only for him.
Do you know what he got the first album tattoo? I believe on the back of his head, as in like ear. I know you can't see this, listener, but it's like ear.
Yeah, I guess. See, that sounds extreme.
Yeah,
but the hair would cover it.
You are correct.
So actually, one of the least extreme places. And I am using extreme beginning with the letter X to get fully into character here.
Well, thankfully, Machine Gun Kelly, to tie with this news, he's actually dropped a brand new track. And we're going to play it.
I would imagine all of the insults that I've been loading on him are just paper cuts,
Thank God, because this song is called Paper Cuts. After this, we are joined by the wonderful Jade Bird. So going from tattoo on the back of your head to a legend in your ears.
Internalize everything the headlines say lately. Everything they say. Demonized just because I was an angel face, baby. Baby. Suicide. Hey, hey, keep my mouth shut and wait. Hey, hey, I'm dancing on my.
And we're back. We're back. We definitely didn't have a full start. Just a little behind the scenes there of what happens here on the show. It didn't go well. It was a disaster. We were sat there. We didn't know what was going to happen. But
didn't know what was going to happen. It's truly terrifying. We are now joined by a guest, Jamie. Keep things moving along swiftly.
We certainly are. We're joined now by the wonderful Jade Bird. Jade, how are we doing?
I'm doing very well. Yeah, we're here at last.
We're here at last. You can feel it. How are things with you? Describe us. Where are you in the world? What's happening?
So I'm in not so sunny, but rainy Petersfield. I flew in last night from Austin, Texas. Yeah. I flew in.
Flew in for the show. Yeah, just simply had to be on UK ground for this.
Yeah, the Super Bowl, Peter. Oh, this one, yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I flew in for Jamie and Jake. And
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
From my new home in Austin, Texas, I'm sat in a living room. I got Barack Obama's biography. I've got Terry's Chocolate Orange.
Incredible selection already.
Yeah, Seth Rogen's yearbook. I'm really going for the highbrow, lowbrow thing. And that's sort of me.
Amazing. Already way more prepared than most guests who come on this show. Just want to quickly find that out. I don't think we've ever had that combination.
Well, you'll be all ready for the Obama trivia rounds that we do each week.
Yeah, I don't think anyone ever will be this prepared.
Yeah. Yes, very true, very true. But of course, I mean, obviously you're talking about just obviously in your home in Austin now. How is it like over there? Did you move in, was it end of last year you kind of moved over to Austin properly?
Yeah, I moved right before the election, which was very fun. Not.
Dive straight in. There's nothing else going on.
And then I've lived there for about 10 months. I've been back and forth a couple of times. It's been quite hard with the pandemic going on. I got a little dog, a Border Collie cross.
Very nice. Very nice.
Just living.
What's the dog's name?
Her name's Tea, which sounds quite cliche, me being British, but she was a rescue. She did come with a name, and she had so many problems at that point. I was like, well, I'm not going to change the name as well.
I'm not going to add to your issues here.
No, I was like, I barely get her to trust me. We couldn't get in our bedroom the first time I adopted her, so I was like, right, your Tea it is.
We're going to stick with the name. We're not going to cause any more confusion there. Yeah. My lord. How are you finding Austin? Is it paint us a picture? What is life in Austin like?
Well, I don't go outside that much, but we're more of a gaming house.
Incredible. Why not?
Yeah, no. It's basically like a small bungalow. It's painted entirely yellow because our landlord's missus wanted it all yellow. And then you kind of look outside and it's like jungle hot. It's so humid. And then there's a park right in front of our little house. So it's quite,
This is nice.
It's not too bad.
This is lovely. I was about to say, you're selling Austin very, very well here.
Well, that's good. Lots of tacos.
Lots of tacos.
Oh, hell yeah. Tacos are the,
Jake, should we go?
Yeah, there's a lovely bungalow that doesn't have anyone in it at the moment. If we're quick.
See ya, we're out by, and we're off. Yeah. Well, very nice. Well, obviously it must be, obviously quite a busy time at the moment. Lots going on, of course, different kinds of lights. Second album coming out soon. How does it feel, kind of like being at this point? You've got a brand new album coming out. Like, how does it feel, kind of on the second album, if you will, compared to the first album? Like, do you feel slightly more prepared for what's to come, or is it almost a similar experience?
It's horrible. No,
I've been through this once and I know what's coming.
It's honestly, I think, a bit like, there was a sort of cult, I think, in the Renaissance or whatever, that sort of used to self-flagellate or whatever it's called. And it's almost like putting yourself through.
It's like going town to town beating yourself with a whip. I think that's the most unique perspective on the album release schedule we've had on the show before.
I'm trying, I don't know where to go from that.
It's a show of firsts, ladies and gentlemen. It really is.
It's great. I mean, it's great. How do I say it's great after that? No, it's fine. It's wonderful that the album's out. I'm very, very proud of my album. When you start giving it to other people to have their opinions, it's just a bit of a minefield.
Yeah, so here's the album. Only tell me if you like it.
Yeah, please. And if you don't, just
leave.
Go away.
Yeah.
Don't mention it. Just don't mention it. Yeah.
But I'm extremely proud of the album. It's nothing to do with nervousness on that. It's like I said, it's just weird that it's out in the world.
Yeah. It's there. It's about, and like you say, getting people's kind of like thoughts about it as well. Like, it kind of like, because obviously, you mentioned obviously that, kind of like bedding down in Austin, moving there, I guess. Yeah. Like, it feels like that. You recorded, am I right, in Nashville, if that's correct, some of this album. And how was that? Because I believe it was, is it the RCA studios? So very nice studios we're looking at here.
Yeah, it's quite scary. It was scary because, a lot of my heroes had recorded there, like Elvis, Dolly, Brandy Carlisle, like they've all been there. And Dave is no kind of small producer, Dave Cobb. So I was, you just see it 6 Grammys sat at the back and you're just like,
what are we going to do today?
Yeah, but he was wonderful and everything was perfect, and me and my partner did it together kind of thing, and we knew we had to make the most of it. So it was just a really warm, nice experience, like just amazing, to be honest with you. It was great.
Nice. And was there kind of like things you wanted to, like when you kind of like obviously had done the kind of like touring and everything around the first album, did you kind of have an idea of like, right, I want to go in this sort of direction for your second album? Or was it something that very much just came naturally to you?
No, it's a bit of a nightmare with when you finish a record. Like I heard Michaela Cole talking about how you have this grieving process when you finish anything you make or write, and I certainly feel like that. You're in this sort of darkness for ages, and you just don't know when you're going to write yourself out of it, because that's how I just write songs and write songs and write songs, and eventually it'll appear and I'll be like, oh, thank God I can still write.
I haven't lost this. It's still there, thank God.
And then it starts all over again for the second and the third, and but
and the others and the next. Just think, this is your second album. There's more to come. So
Willie Nelson's got like 70, isn't he? How did he do this? How is he still
by
alive?
like 20 in, it's definitely not as hard. I don't think. Like,
no.
What are you trying to say, that Willie Nelson's 52nd album was not as hard as his first
one? Can you imagine like 63 albums in, someone being like, "Oh, this is the best thing you've ever done"? You just feel like it's not, diminishing returns. Surely,
it's an interesting point, isn't it? Just,
like Johnny Cash had like 110, and like surely at some point you'd be like, "I think I'm done. I think I've got enough."
I love that we've gone from, second album, big one here, but it's like, but look at all these guys, they've done like hundreds of them.
But the point is, they should have done less. So I think I'm on your side here. Second album's more important.
That's interesting. I do think in terms of should have done less, you can write a lot of songs that I feel like shouldn't necessarily see the light of day. And there are some artists I feel that do just like, it's like, oh, you wrote it, throw it out.
Just put it out there. Just put it out there.
You're sort of sat there listening going like, is this meant to?
like a buffet where like over half of the courses are completely horrible, but you don't know until you've tried them.
So true.
And you're like, I'm here now. I've got to try it.
There's one guy that likes it, so you trust this guy, so you go in and you expect to like it, and then you realise no, it really isn't there. There's nothing there, but
there's just one guy that's just like, the veal is amazing, and it's just like, right, okay, mate, I think you're the only one out of everyone in this place that is going for it. No, that's very good. With that in mind, are you someone very much that it takes a while for you to kind of like be like, right, I'm happy and finished with that song, and I should put it out there? Is that the way you are?
I've always been quite the opposite. So the reason the recording process worked so well, and why we had like 15 tracks, we only had 2 weeks to record the record, but we ended up with literally 16 tracks cut down one. I really run fast because my brain is overactive, and if I linger on anything, I get quite anxious about it. So the quicker I can get through stuff, the better for me, and including writing. I never used to spend any time on it. It's only now I revisit songs and rewrite a verse or a chorus. Even though my first album, I was like, no, it's not good enough. That's why I didn't finish it. So I'm quite quick on the process.
Yeah. You're like, I'm just getting this all done here. You're like, you're aware of a time frame. Is that more it? You're like, I know I've only got 2 weeks here. I'm fitting every single time.
It's more instinctive. It's more like if it doesn't sort of feel right, then it probably isn't. I think that's where I go with it. It'll take as long as it needs to if it's good, but I just never find out. Wait to see.
You're like, we're done now. Come on, off we go. Off we go. We've got places to go, people to see, everything like that. No, that was it. And it must be like, obviously, kind of like with this kind of like new album as well, does it very much feel like you kind of like learned and grown, kind of especially with all this time on the road that you were playing around the first album, all the stuff kind of like you were doing, whether it was like, US TV or whatever that is, like, do you feel like all those experiences have kind of helped kind of like input on this album?
Well, it's quite ironic because it's almost all of the road stuff that you try not to put in. It's like me and my manager always say, artists always make the like, oh, the road is so hard second record. And like nobody wants to hear it. Like nobody. It's like, oh, your life is so hard. You get to tour the world and play your own music. Like, who?
You're like, oh, I can't really be complaining about this, can I?
No one wants that second album. So ironically, I started to really grow when I stopped, and when the pandemic hit, I exponentially grew as a person, and it just made my writing style so much more mature and empathetic. And I finally got to write about other people, not just myself, continuously. So it sort of all fed each other, but it wasn't working that inspired it.
Yeah, I can tell you that now. It was not the working part. Yeah. Inspiration of working. Yeah, I'll be honest with you.
Not many great albums about that, is there?
Yeah. Not exactly. No. I guess in terms of like the subjects, you were talking about like stuff that you could write about other people and stuff. Was there any reason why you kind of like didn't do that before, or was it just very much you were kind of like a writer that was just very autobiographical before?
No, I think I had a lot to process when I was 18. I feel like I lived 10 lives at that point through various sort of broken relationships from my grandparents to my mom, and just having to sort of live through all that as I've always felt like a peer of my parents because my mom had me at 20. And so I think I just ended up being able to write my debut and just being like, how in God's name? And I just sort of put it all down, all this hurt and pain and mix up and and that's what it came to be. But now I don't feel the same urge to do that continuously. Like I said, it gets a bit boring.
And you've done it, and you've got it all out as well at that point. You've kind of like written that kind of like album, so you're very much like, right, I've got this all down on paper now. I can start looking around you, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit. There's always revelations, and there's always things that happen in life that in your personal life that don't make it easy to get through. But I think as a whole concept, that debut definitely had to be self-exploratory, where the successing albums don't.
Yeah. You've covered it. You've covered it already.
I've done that.
If you want that, go back
See
to the
above.
first album.
I've done that. See above. 0.26 seconds.
That's the review. Someone comes in, I really enjoyed that. Yeah, cool. Got an album already of that. So keep up, please, mate. Keep up. I saw as well you kind of like bonded, obviously, with Dave Cobb, who obviously produced the album as well. You kind of. So I read somewhere that you kind of like bonded over like playing stuff like Blur when you were like recording and stuff. Like, and I guess like for some people they may have like a preconception about kind of like yourself being quite a country almost artist as well. Was it quite important for you to kind of like be like, right, no, I'm stepping out of this because I'm not in that I'm not that box, if you will. Like that must have been important.
It was never entirely intentional. I think my whole point with country is it's an American voice. So that genre is quite American. I think Americana, ironically, is a bit more worldwide. If I think of Americana, they don't do the same thing. But country music is very Southern, very much about that experience. So for me, it was like, I love the rhythm. I love the structure of the writing, but the experience has to be my own. It was never intended to do Britpop. I just found out when I got there that the country award-winning producer was in a Britpop band when he was 18.
You discovered. You're like, hold on a second, what did you do?
I was like, what? And he wouldn't tell us the band name, and we kept trying to find him. He was like, yeah, I supported Blur at one point. I was like, what?
Yeah, why have you not talked about this before?
Going through all Blur gigs, just reading out the names of the supports to it, seeing if there's any flicker in his face.
Googling.
Yeah. I was like, you're from Savannah, Georgia. Like, what do you mean? And then we just we like the chorus pedal on the guitar, basically, me and Luke and Dave. And so we started to really dig into the Johnny Marr tones and, like I said, Blur, Oasis tones, Elizabeth Fraser, kind of psychedelic, 90s tones. So it all just sparked from there.
Nice. And does it feel like as well, like with this album as well, it feels like you've kind of like expanded your sound in a lot of ways, and I guess that must be really exciting to kind of get that out and play live, I guess, in particular.
Yeah, the musicians on this album were ridiculous. Like, I remember, you're like, what? It was just that, though. Like, I'd play them the song, and you don't forget, I'm playing 15 songs here, and they'd play it to them, and they'd chart it, and the bass player would just come up with a part, and that was just uneditable. It was just such a perfect part, and all the songs are different styles. They all have different stories, different rhythms, different everything, and I'd just be in total awe and amazement at the musicianship of like Nashville musicians, but their ability to jump genre, jump to like the Clash or Iggy Pop or things like that were inspiring us, the Bee Gees. So it was just one big fangirl experience really there.
But you're just like, I'm going to try and do something like this, and let's just see what everyone does in this moment. Just see everyone kind of like jump off exactly what you were doing.
That's Dave's process. That's exactly what he does. He sort of plays you a reference track. I remember he listened to the middle 8 of Honeymoon, and you never get a song by its middle 8. Like it just doesn't happen. It's purposely the different phase of the song. It's very different. And he just went Iggy Pop, The Passenger. And I tried to record this song about 4 times before Dave, and he got it like within half a day just by that reference. And me and Luke were just astounded. We were like, how?
You're just sat there like, okay, this is quite good actually.
I was just like, clearly, you know what you're doing. As if the studio and the Grammys didn't prove it.
Clip, fair play, actually.
I've done this before.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, no I'm kidding.
I've done this before. Amazing. And I guess is that kind of like something you want to kind of like do? I guess going forward, like I know very much the album is out now. But it's also like, for you, is this kind of like, it feels like, right, I've kind of done a lot on this album to help me lead to where I want to go next as well. Like, is that quite an exciting thing to be like, to try the way you've done it with this album? You're like, okay, maybe I can do this again next time.
I think knowing Dave is essential. I think whatever I come up with, he's always there. I think going to be there through my whole career. We just we really get on, him, me and my partner, like musical soulmates. And I think, not sound too Fleetwood Mac.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, it's just such a genuine love of music and passion that we share. So yeah, despite whatever comes on the next record, I'll go back to Dave at some point, even if it's the next record or the one after that or the one after that. So that's reassuring.
That's a pretty cool place to be able to record anyway. It's not like you'd be stuck in Slough with him or something.
No offense to all of our listeners from Slough.
I was going to say, Jake hammering down on Slough.
The only people I've ever met from Slough have been the quickest to condemn the place, so I think it's pretty safe.
You're in the clear, are you?
So.
You're in the
clear.
Find
out, won't we?
Yeah, we'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll get a message very, very soon.
I hope you haven't got any listeners from...
I hope you haven't got any gigs in Slough anytime soon, Jade.
No, funny enough.
See you there next week. Until then, let's have a listen to one such track off the new album. So this
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So this is Now Is the Time by Jade Bird. There it is. What a tune. What a wonderful, wonderful tune. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Jade, I do have to ask you one question because I ask this to every single guest who comes on. Jade knows where this is going. So it's more of your reaction to this fact more than anything. So, so Robbie Williams. Famous,
the man, the myth, the legend.
Famously, yes. Pop Supremo. Dance floor diva.
Just do the thing. Come on.
Yeah.
Get this out of the way.
Where's this going?
The fact is, Robbie Williams came out and said that he has 27 toilets in his house.
Okay.
I just want to know your opinion on, number one, 27 toilets. Is that too many, or can you understand where he's coming from?
Or is it not enough?
It depends.
Or is it not enough?
It depends. Because if you're going with a basic function, if you just got a toilet there and it doesn't really do much, then it's too many. But if you've got like a toilet / music listening room,
this is great.
Or a golden toilet room.
Yeah. So you'd be just have a toilet in the living room for those really relaxing Simpsons rewatches.
The toilet TV room.
This is
Maybe
great.
I could get behind it. Or a toilet shower room.
In your mind, does he have like a normal living room and then his own little special toilet TV room for when it all gets too much?
This is just sounding like Minecraft.
I think when you're as rich as Robbie Williams is, real life is like Minecraft.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh my God.
I love the idea. I like this idea. You're the first to raise this suggestion of the function of each toilet.
He's just going through with a hammer and a sickle and various like.
A toilet in here. Another one in here.
Singing along to Rock DJ as he goes round.
It's also perspective. How many floors has he got? That's what I need to know. Because if you have 10 toilets on one floor, that's not right. If you have one over 6,
30 floors, then that's not enough toilets, really, is it?
That's great. Exactly. So it's very dependent.
Well, you want one per floor, don't you?
It's not enough toilets.
You'd be so annoyed if you were on one of the floors without a toilet, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no. To be fair, I'd be livid. To be fair,
How much time do you guys need? You clearly when you gotta go.
Yeah.
You can't go up.
No, I just think the fact that I would know that there are 27 floors with a toilet and I've somehow managed to be on one of the 3 without one would be annoying, rather than any logistical issues.
It's real me again.
Yeah, Jake, you're not just leaving it to the last minute and be like, oh no.
That's how I get my gigs. It's the only way I feel alive. I drink 4 pints of water and see how long I can sit there.
Moving on from the speed of urination. Yeah, I certainly did. We've now come to the part of the show which some people hate, some people
can deal with.
Moderately are okay with. This is where we play a game, Jade. Yeah. Big
so
stuff.
Northern. A game.
Right.
A game,
Yeah. What kind of game are you doing here? So in celebration of different kinds of light, of course, out now, available at all good record stores. Go pick up a copy now.
All right.
This is called. We're going to play a game called Different Things to Do in the Dark. So close to the title.
You don't even have a jingle?
We've asked for a jingle for a long time, by the way, on this show.
What we need is to get one of these Nashville musicians that can just do it off the top of their head. And we'll
just have them on the call.
I do play on the occasion. Maybe I'll write you a jingle.
Please do.
Hey, I tell you what, if you write the jingle and it comes in, we're going to play it forevermore.
You need to, otherwise it's way too much of a dry setup. You need like a thing to do in the dark.
To be fair, I mean that's all we're going to get, isn't it?
Or Jake and Jamie in the dark.
Oh, that's a bit. Don't know about that.
No one wants that. We've been in places where we've been told to leave the dark.
I won't ask. Yeah.
Neither will I, because I don't know what he's talking about.
So minus jingle, different things to do in the dark. In the
dark.
We're all falling apart. It's not going
well.
well.
We're all falling apart. I'm fine, apart from the toilet thing.
You're fine. So there's probably a fair argument that darkness, just the outside when it gets dark, is an obstacle to a lot of people. So we wanted to know, Jade, just how effective you are in the dark doing certain activities. So we're going to ask you a string of different activities, and we just want to know your thoughts on them. But most importantly, how well do you think you could do them in the dark?
Okay, all right.
Any prior experience, of course, always welcome.
Yeah, go on.
Should I start things off, Jake?
Why not?
Should I,
seeing as you have the floor.
Without a jingle? Don't.
Minus jingle.
I'm not letting you forget it, am I? I'm like, you don't have
You'll have Jade singing within a couple of minutes.
You certainly will, yeah. Don't rule that out. Oh, God.
Okay.
Let's start with number 1, which is cutting someone's hair in the dark. Number 1, have you ever done it? And number 2, how effective do you think you'd be?
It depends if it's, if you're just doing a bobble cut, like if you just got your hair in a hair tie and then you're just doing a snip, I could probably do it in the dark. If you're doing bangs, I mean, it's just a natural disaster.
What about a sort of Rod Stewart kind of feather cut?
Is that what it's called?
It's not a mullet, it's a
sort of feathered mullet, isn't it?
What?
The metrosexual version of a mullet.
I mean, look at Rod Stewart and tell me he doesn't look like he's got feathers, okay?
I'm sure he has. Yeah, maybe I could do a Rod Stewart. I don't know. I cut my hair once. It didn't go supremely well.
So you cut your hair once not in the dark and it didn't go very well, and here you are going, I reckon I could probably do Rod Stewart in the dark. Easy, yeah.
That's a key to my personality. Definitely capability mixed with aspirations.
The dream. So that is quite a positive. I could give this a go.
But also, I definitely
too
wouldn't let you anywhere near my hair after that. So positivity mixed with trepidation on the part of anyone getting their hair cut.
It's not saying you're not going to give it a go, though. Not going to give it a go. Amazing.
Right. 2.
Jake.
Okay, making a cake. You can read the instructions in the light, but you have to make it in the dark. How do you think you'd do?
Oh my god. I don't know. It's a really good question.
Do you make? Are you a kind of cake maker outside of the darkness? So
I make cakes. I make cakes.
You said that like it was so obvious. But, of course.
For some reason in my head,
don't worry, Jamie. I make cakes.
I have this idea that you're a New Yorker, just like I make cakes here.
It's the eggs. There would be the flour. Would also be a problem. I feel like I could do it, but I feel like I would look crazy after finishing.
Yeah.
Like the flour would have come up in my face, probably gotten in my mouth. It's not a hygienic way of doing it.
No, that is true. Yeah,
I don't think it would taste very nice. No,
but it would probably be edible, right? And cake shaped.
Yeah, but there's some aiming issues that there always is in the dark.
There it is.
You gotta put the cake in the cake tin, and I'll leave it there.
It would look all over the place. I'm sure. Yeah. I think that's a fair. Maybe not in the dark. Our next one. Playing a gig. Just playing a gig in the dark. Do you reckon that you have got enough kind of like muscle memory and just like I could just do this in the dark now?
Wow, I think solo, yes. I think solo I could do it in the dark. I think as a group, no, because you know what? There's probably a scientific reason with rhythm in the dark that's either easier or harder, and I imagine it's harder because rhythm is with the eye. So if you're a drummer, you're seeing. Yes. I'm getting so in depth with this, but you're seeing like when you hit the snare. And if it's in the dark, you have no eye. Yeah,
you just be all over the shop.
So wouldn't work in the dark.
Wouldn't work in the dark. But solo, you reckon you could?
I reckon I could bash my way through it. I don't know if you'd want to be at the gig. Yeah, you wouldn't want to be at Jade Bird in the dark, but
this is probably a good time to remind you that Jade is going on tour next year. A bunch of tour dates.
Lights will be on at some venues.
Lights will be on.
Shameless plug, yeah.
Got it done. Oh, Jake, what next?
So, getting dressed to go on a big night out. Do you think you could do that in the dark?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like choosing outfits and stuff.
Well, this takes that away. You don't have to choose it.
Exactly. If I had it like on the bed or whatever, like what I was going to wear.
Like going into the wardrobe and just.
This is not like the cake situation, unfortunately.
Well, maybe I could feel my way through it. Like you can feel denim.
Yeah,
and you can like
that's true.
Feel the height of your shoe and sort of define which trainer. I mean, it just reminds me of when our power got shut off in Austin. Like literally, power, water, aircon, like literally heat went off. Yeah, because there was a snowstorm in Texas, and that I didn't last 6 hours. So a lot of this stuff is like.
So I'm glad that we can relive that clearly wonderful experience by doing a game all about what happens in the dark. Great to have you on.
I could. I think in conclusion. I could get dressed in the dark,
but
for a night out.
From prior experience, you don't want to.
Yeah.
From the snowstorm, it's a no.
It's a no.
Jamie,
it's a strong no.
Got another delightful activity.
Next one. Yeah, how about eating spaghetti? I
mean, that's easy. Unless you're going to go with like the kid method of like, suck up the spaghetti, then I think just put it in your mouth. It's fine.
just shove it in.
I guess you're always chewing in the dark, aren't you? Really? Because you can't see your own mouth.
Well,
so
No, go into that a bit
So
more.
you can't see your own mouth. So like not being able to see your own mouth in the dark means, the chewing's fine. You don't use eyesight to judge chewing, so that bit's fine. Once it's in the mouth, it's home free.
Oh right, you're saying that you know how to chew, basically.
Yeah, without any visual cues. It's not like some of the other stuff on this list that involves a lot of hand-eye coordination. Although you might stick a fork in your eye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I think I touched the fork with two hands. Like I touched the end of the fork, and then I kind of know.
Oh yeah, that's good. And
Something
then
like
plain
that.
sailing.
once you're kind of going, once you've got the rhythm of it, you're kind of like away, aren't you? At that point,
I'd figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Might be a bit messy, but
Again, not desired, but if necessary, will do.
I don't think any of these are going to be you being like, I'd rather do that in the dark. From now on, I will do that in the dark. How about grooming a dog?
Oh my god, no. my dog is like, she hates it. Like if I bath her, she's constantly trying to get out, and it's just like this squirmy little caterpillar. It's impossible. She won't even allow her nails to be cut. She goes into full dragon mode. So
in the dark.
Oh my god, no! I barely can brush her. I have to, have some treat or something, because otherwise she's like, "Why am I here? What am I doing?" Like,
what do I
this is
gain
pointless.
from this?
Is it like a big occasion when like it's like right, it's time to groom? Like, is it sort of something you're like, right, we need to prepare for in order to get like together?
Oh, it's a really good. Well, she's very temperamental, but when she gets stinky, my tolerance is just very low. I'm like, right, bath time.
You ever think about just putting her through a car wash?
Well,
You stand at one end with a treat, she goes in the other end, car wash does the rest.
Jobs are good.
to murder her, maybe, not to wash
No, they've just got the little shampoo thing. There's nothing murdery.
How do you think you watch too many cartoons, Jake? That's the problem. You watch like cartoons.
Can you tell I have never owned a car? My knowledge of car washes.
Or a dog.
Well, yeah, that's it.
More importantly.
No, not more importantly, because even if I had owned a dog, I wouldn't have put it through a car wash. So the car is the crucial thing here.
My God.
Yeah. So no grooming a dog in the dark for me, especially nail cutting. That's a life disaster waiting to happen for her.
Do you reckon out of all of the ones that you've had so far, that could be the worst thing not like to do in the dark?
100,000,000% that is the worst one. She would not like any of that. No.
It's a strong no.
Yeah.
Amazing. We've got two more left. So one, brushing your teeth in the dark.
I've done that.
You've done that? How successful? How was it?
Well, like festivals, I think you do that.
True.
I think I done it at a festival, maybe in a tent or whatever, when you can't find the light and then you just spit outside.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was very uneventful but very successful. My teeth were fine the next day.
Yeah.
No bleeding.
If you miss one toothbrushing, they all fall out. So thank God they were fine.
Jake being the parent here.
Yeah. After sending the dog through the car wash.
Yeah, I don't think you'd trust the parent after that, would you?
Yes, maybe not. No. Amazing. But that just seems like, you've done it. Clearly.
Yeah, again, it's involving the mouth, so it's easy.
It's easy.
It is. Last one.
We're one
throwing
more.
a party. So preparing the house and then having a party in the dark.
Can't turn any lights on at any
Thanks
point.
for clarifying this late in the game what the game is, Jamie.
I think that could be really fun.
Could.
Yeah.
The only thing is, like, drugs or alcohol involved in party? Question mark?
I would say alcohol, yes. Legal things allowed.
Yes.
No one's
Well,
shooting
in
up.
that case, I think if you had like a bunch of LSD tabs and then told them to just sit in the dark with each other, I think it'd be the worst party in the history of time and space.
That would be horrifying.
Just terrible. Just feeling alone whilst being with people in constant space. Terrible. But just alcohol could be very fun. Unless everyone throws up. Why do I feel like anyone's going to take it to the nth degree at my party?
Yeah, I love that you're like, it has to be The far end of this spectrum here.
A beer. I think that could be really fun.
Yeah. Just completely in the dark. It's like, it was great to see you last night. Well, didn't actually see you.
Plus, if you didn't want to go, you could say you'd gone anyway. You know? Oh, yeah, I was there. We must not have bumped into each other.
Wow, you'd greet them in the dark as well?
Yeah,
you wouldn't be like, come to my dark room. You'd just be like, can't see you, bro.
Just shouting names. Is Tom here?
Well, like you've got to register.
Stephen?
Yeah. I mean, that'd be good. Also, it's probably quite nice because at the end of the party, you won't have to look at the mess there until obviously the
imagine
time
stepping
when the
in something unknown, though. That would be horrible.
Oh, nasty.
Yeah.
Wouldn't like that.
strong no for that, indeed.
Yeah. But the party, yes, but the stepping stuff, no.
No. Basically, just be mindful if you're at a party.
A qualified yes.
Well, they do it in clubs in Berlin, don't they? They have like dark rooms.
They do. Yeah.
In like the Berghain and stuff, they have like a whole floor of darkness.
And
it's meant to be a bit depraved, but
yeah, they say that. But they would never let me in, so I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. Show me the depravity. I don't want to be in there long. Just give me like 10 seconds with the depravity, and then I'll agree. I'll leave. Yeah.
This is what you say to the bouncer on the way.
I want to be shown that it exists, and then I want to go somewhere that I can sit down and have a beer instead. With less techno.
I don't want to ever go there again. I just want to know.
Find Jake in the Berghain.
No.
Well, it's like all techno, and like that's a no from me. That is a hard no.
I do get you there. I do like a bit of trance myself, but techno's quite
a lot. It's a lot by not being intense thing. You know, it's not a lot. Which makes it a lot.
It's a lot going on at one moment.
A lot of depravity. I've heard.
What, techno?
Yeah, well, I think people get bored of the techno and just go to the dark room for some depravity.
The things they can do in the light.
Come to the light. We have techno, and that's going to be it. That's going to be all we have. Amazing. Well, with that sensational night out planned, we unfortunately have reached the end of our time together, Jade.
I'll make you a jingle.
Please, please make us a jingle.
We can reconnect.
Please if you make us a jingle,
we'll use it forever.
We've been waiting for this. We'll use it forever.
We'll replace the whole show with it looping.
Yeah, we'll get better reviews that way. To be honest.
Yeah. All right. I'll do it.
I'm glad that we've reached a business transaction on this show for the first time.
No, not the first time. We're supporting Tom Grennan on tour. He promised us.
Oh yes, we are. Yes, yeah, he did agree. He did agree.
Hasn't been in touch.
Yeah, we can't wait.
Hasn't been in touch.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. He's got Alexandra Palace in like a few months. He hasn't given us any notes. So.
Oh, what a bastard!
Anyway, I'm sure if we turn up,
be fine. Be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
You should just do what I've had before and just grab the mic and introduce him. That's always amazing. When you just get introed and you don't really know why. You're like, who is this guy? Like, what's happening? That's what you guys could do.
What is it like? Normally, some like localized celebrity or just some random human being?
It's just sometimes in certain festivals, a guy will just take it. It's always a guy will just take it upon himself to just be like, and now it's Jade Bird. And I'm just like, oh, this is so much worse. This is so much worse.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. That was just awful.
Well, let's remember, Jake, not to do that when we go see Jake live. That was our plan. We'll do it to Tom. He'll be fine. He'll like that. He'll like that.
Well,
Tom, if you're listening,
guys.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's been great, of course.
No, thank you both. It's been really fun.
Thank you for flying in for us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anytime. Just call me and I'll be there.
We'll leave you to get back to your Obama book. A real step up, let's just say.
I don't know if now's the time to tell you that I wasn't reading it. It was just there.
Oh.
Sorry. I should have said it. I knew it was going to go one way or another.
You were about to leave. It was going to be fine.
I know.
You could have told us then.
Rubbish.
With that in mind, Different Kinds of Light is out now. Go pick up a copy. We're going to listen to Open Up the Heavens. from the album too. But Jade, it's been a pleasure.
You guys take care of yourself.
Enjoy sunny
I'll
Austin.
see you in real life soon, I hope.
We certainly will.
Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.
That was Jade Bird. Away Jade Bird goes. Away she flies. How many times do you think she's heard that?
It took us a while to think of it. So
yeah, we did mention it actually on air.
It's nice and original, I would say.
Yeah, clearly is. Clearly, we're breaking new grounds.
I'm like a bird. I'm an original joke. I don't know where my home is.
Oh.
I don't know where my soul lives.
Yeah. That's it. That's a song you don't really hear as much anymore, isn't it?
Speaking of songs which are very similar to that, new music.
Very similar to that.
Yeah.
Yes. Our tracks this week, all Nelly Furtado. Every single one.
I mean, it's a banger.
Yeah, it's a tune.
They should all be that.
They're not, but they are bangers. So, we've reached a middle ground at the very least. Let's start with news of friends of the show, of course. Another act who've been on.
That doesn't really narrow it down.
Yeah. At this point, when you've done over a year and a bit of shows, I've got a wide breadth, if you will, of choices. But I'm talking about Seagulls, Jake. That's what I'm talking about.
Of course, Seagulls or Seagulls.
Yes, all bird related at the moment. We're continuing the momentum here. They've dropped a brand new track called Sick, which is the first track taken from their second album, which is coming out in January. Jake, how do you feel? Nice big bit of warning there. You feel bad about January?
As a month.
Yeah. Yes.
Feel pretty good about that, though. That seems like a decent amount of notice.
Good, you can put it in the diary. You're not
I'm
not
okay
doing
with that, I think.
Okay, well, that's okay. That's all right. Cheers. Seagulls. Yeah, so this song it's definitely, obviously everything off their first album. They really kind of like nailed their sound kind of on that record, big kind of indie choruses made for kind of like live stages. And this is kind of quite an interesting one. I almost feel like this is the sort of track that's come together almost from that time not being on a stage, because it's a lot slicker. There's definitely a bit more of this, I don't know, like anthemic pop feel to it.
Plus all the lyrics are about being sick of not being on stage, etc. So,
Well, yes. That also would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
As Henry said, he kind of wrote this song while he's back at his childhood home. And he said, it's me listing things I'm pissed off with and feeling sorry for myself. It's a growing up song where I realise I'm no longer a young child. Big stuff. Big stuff, Jake.
Maybe we should realise that at some point.
Yeah. Telling us to grow up.
It sounds like he had a real coming of age movie montage where he cuts his hair and rips all his posters off the wall.
I've got the epic moment clear in my mind, actually.
I like it.
I like it. Big fan. And big fan of this song as well. Nice to see, kind of like Seagulls growing and making this kind of more, slicker, crystallised, if you will, indie pop. So let's have a listen. This is Seagulls with Sick.
I'm sick of TV on a Sunday morning. I'm sick of your friends, they're all very boring. I'm sick of myself, I'm sick of the Beatles. I'm sick that I never asked, how do you really feel? Oh, I wish I was just a child. Mom and Dad, can you
See, when I first read this, I thought it was like sick.
Oh, as in like that's sick, mate.
Yeah, but it's not. It's the opposite of that.
It's not. No.
But something that is totally radical.
Yes,
is the new Lizzo and Cardi B song.
Oh,
Rumours.
Here we go. Radical,
not based on the entire album of the same name by Fleetwood Mac.
But yeah, they've just gone. We're just going to write a song about just after, like, secondhand news,
taking 10 seconds each of those songs. No,
just combine them together.
First music in 2 years since the album that made her a household name.
Yeah,
basically.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's great, obviously. A lot of lyrics about how, being in the spotlight, a lot of people were blaming her for ridiculous things and saying that she was sleeping with groupies and sleeping with Drake. So, a lot of stuff going on there. And obviously Cardi B's on it as well, which is a hell of a feature. It feels like another one of those massive features, like team-ups, like WAP was. It feels like one of those songs that's just going to be everywhere forever. And this one can actually get played on the radio without the chorus being entirely censored.
Yeah, will it annoy as many, call-in radio hosts?
I hope so. I hope the Christians get really riled. The fundamentalists in America. Yeah.
This one's for you, Christianity. It's going to be interesting to see how, because kind of like, Lizzo kind of, became this superstar really on her last album.
I think it's mad that was her third album, because it had real sort of debut album announcement energy. I think a lot of people who heard about her from that album were probably quite surprised to look back and see that there were 2 other albums they could listen to. So this almost feels like a first single from a second album, even though it's 4 albums in.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because it's kind of like. I don't know, that kind of like first time where it's like, right, you are a huge, you are a superstar. What are you going to do? So it's going to be very interesting to see how that all comes together. And I'm excited because I think that added confidence is actually going to just make it even better.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Well, you don't have to look forward to this because it's happening right now. This is Lizzo and Cardi B with Rumours.
Real breakdown of time there, which I did really appreciate.
That's okay. I know you struggle with these things.
I just need you to lay it out. That's all I want. That's all I want. Let's move on to a bit of a collaboration that, if you'd asked me a year ago would this happen, I would have said probably not. But it's happened.
The Wombles and Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yes, that's what I thought we should talk about this week as our third out of 4 tracks that we can talk about like this. Just saying.
The whole spectrum of music, and that's a very odd choice, Jamie. I don't know why you've picked that. That doesn't really fit with the show at all.
No, I don't. No, I don't either. But thankfully, my notes actually say something completely different. So I'm going to go with this.
Can we get it together,
please? We'll go back and revisit it. We'll go back and revisit that before. Apologies to the Wombles and Engelbert Humperdinck. We missed you on the show.
That's not even his real name.
Isn't it? What's his name?
No, I'm not going to get into it.
Is it like
Let's not do it.
Tony Tim? It was like really like just
normal.
Tony Tim. Yeah. Sounds like a gangster.
I'll have a quick look and then we'll talk about new music. Okay?
Yeah.
His name is Arnold Dorsey.
Yeah, you would go with Engelbert Humperdinck, wouldn't you?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's fair. Let's talk about Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes.
Okay.
And Lynx, who have teamed up on Go Get a Tattoo. Of course, Lynx, friend of the show. All round good dude.
Frank Carter, though, not a friend of the show yet.
Yet. We'll love him on.
We'll claw him in.
Let me put this out there. This is like a really interesting collaboration. At first, when you look at it on paper, you're like, how has that happened? But then when you actually listen to the track itself, you're like, oh yeah, these two, like it makes sense. Like why haven't they teamed up?
Yeah,
before?
different energies.
Like,
they do gel very nicely, don't they?
Yeah, that kind of like Rattlesnake style of being quite, I don't know, quite almost like
dangerous,
bitey.
but only when threatened.
Yeah,
you know.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Very big on small percussion.
Yes, that's.
Oh, you mean the band?
That's yes, that'll be it. But yeah, real big fan of this. I think it's a really just again one made for kind of like live stages. From what I've kind of heard, from this upcoming Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes album, which is called Sticky, which is out on the 15th of October.
Like chewing gum. Or a stick.
Named after Wrigley's Extra that's found on the bottom of your foot. It's a very direct, punchy record that tries a lot of different things. So I'm a big fan of this, and it's great to see Lynx as well, kind of like morph into this star who can go around and do this sort of things.
Lynx deserves to be the biggest act on the planet after
it's officially true.
Half an hour he spent with us. So
yeah.
Not because he spent it with us, but because it was probably the best guest we've had.
Probably.
And then
Don't tell anyone.
After the interview, we spent about 15 more minutes discussing the Black Eyed Peas. So
we did. That didn't even make it to air.
All power to Lynx, as far as I'm concerned.
All power to Lynx. Huge fan. This is a great track, and a great collaboration to kind of see. And I want to see this live at a festival. That's the sort of thing where it'll be perfect. Huge fan, and that's the first of 2 collaborations on this album, Jake. That Lynx gets involved with Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. So
maybe the second one's a ballad.
It's called Bang Bang. So
could be a cover of Nancy Sinatra.
I await that with my hands just shaking in anticipation. But until then, this is Go Get a Tattoo by Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes with our friend Lynx.
2 a.m, fuck it, I'm getting a tattoo that shows I love all the same shit that you do. It's about time I tried something new to stick and poke out my commitment issues. So ink me. Hit me with the pen, I'm an artwork. Let the church say amen. Amen. I want to say it again. My body is the canvas, you could be the pen. Are you sure you don't look sure? And we've been in this mess before. Smash your TV, burn the news. All they play is different ways that we live and we lose. Smash your sadness, forget our tattoo. We were born to win, not born to lose.
Delightful.
Now, I wanted to take it down a notch for the last track, Jamie.
All right, have we been a bit too rowdy? Is that what you're trying to say?
We have, I think. So there is a new Courtney Barnett song called "Before You Gotta Go," and it's quite lovely, Jamie.
That's nice.
Real campfire music. I feel. Yeah. So I mean, it's
nice.
off the new album. Things take time. For some reason.
Things take time.
Yeah, looks like it.
So they take time, but they also take time.
Yeah, I guess. That's out November the 12th. How do you feel about that, Jamie?
Perfect time for a Courtney Barnett album, I reckon.
I think so.
All in all.
Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Yeah, good timing.
So, yeah, I mean, if you're not familiar, it's got that kind of Ben Howard sort of vibe to it. That just slowed down, chilled out stuff. But I feel like Courtney's lyrics have always been the highlight of everything. And she said in a statement about this one that sometimes she tries to say everything in one song or put my whole belief system into a vox pop, but you just can't do that. It's impossible.
We've tried that as well, to be fair. It doesn't go
I
well.
like the idea that someone's gone like, you've got 20 seconds. She's gone, right, how do I get my whole belief system into this? It's going to be tough.
It's like, no, we were just asking you, what was your favourite shop at the supermarket? That's all we were asking, to be honest. But
how do I condense myself into this?
That's what I'm thinking all the time, to be honest. Yeah, when we do this show, I'm like, how could I condense everything that I am into this short time that we're together?
You're not very much, are you?
No. I'm sure that Courtney
probably
Barnett's
has more layers.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, there's probably a lot more to dive into with Courtney than me. That's all I'm saying. I'm not the one releasing music, so
you're not. Well, not that we know of. Maybe you've got a stage name, just like Engelbert.
Yeah, that's it. I'm actually slipping out a bunch of tracks under the stage name Ollie Murs.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of it. Never going to do well, but who knows?
Don't think so.
I'm a big fan of this track. This is a nice one.
Murs. Anyway, this is one of Courtney Barnett's many layers, many little layers that she puts in songs instead of condensing her whole self down into one song. This is Before You Gotta Go by Courtney Barnett.
Before you gotta go, 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 I wanted you to know, no, you're always on my mind. You're always on my mind. If something were to happen, my dear, I wouldn't want the last words you hear to be unkind, to be unkind. Don't you know I'm not your enemy? Maybe let's cut out caffeine. Tomorrow's too late to reminisce. Call me when.
So we're now back. We are. It's time to get into our album.
It is, yes. Jade Bird left, and I got so sad. Jamie had to rouse me. But I'm here. I'm back.
It's fine. It's fine.
The vaccine's really kicking in. I feel like I might die. Let's talk about
the show is continuing. We're going to see where this is going to go.
This is how people must feel when they're like, I'm going to broadcast live for 48 hours. They get to like hour 7 and they're like, why?
This is like comic relief.
Yeah.
except we've got no one's getting any money. Let's get into our album then. There was obviously a Killers album that is out today as well. Good on them.
Yeah, well done, lads.
They don't need us.
As soon as you get on the show, we'll promote your album.
They don't need us to talk about it. But that's out now. But we're going to go with a friend of the show, Jake, a proper friend of the show, a previous guest. We're talking about the one and only Oscar Lang, who has dropped his debut. By debut, I mean I'll get into it. He's done a lot of stuff. Debut proper, Chew the Scenery.
Debut proper. Isn't that the name of the guy?
What, the US guy, Davy Crockett?
Literally couldn't think of any context for that man's existence.
That was it.
For a second, I was going to say the guy with the squid face from Pirates of the Caribbean, but that's Davy Jones. Do you fear death?
Fucking awful.
Jack Sparrow.
Little faces going like,
yeah, odd one.
I hate that.
I love it. Good stuff. Straight vibes.
Good film. Chew the Scenery. Oscar Lang.
Tell me what to do.
Big debut album. Wonderful stuff. We've heard obviously a lot of stuff from Oscar Lang over the years with the multiple different EPs, but what has always been good is that all the EPs have like changed in a way. Like we've always seen, like it's not like it's like more of the same. They've always tried this, they've tried that. It's always been really interesting. And
it's been a real journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really feel like you've been able to see him work his way towards the debut album.
Yeah. It's like, especially if you go back now with the debut album there as well, you can look back and be like, oh, this is where he was trying to work it out, which is really good. By the time everyone listens to this, we'll obviously have the news that there's a new issue out as well, which is the perfect time for us to
the new issue. Why did no one tell me?
The new issue, obviously with Conan Gray on the cover.
Yes, the one and only,
with multiple bits and bobs inside, the wonderful stuff.
What's even in this issue?
You got loads of stuff.
Is this the Margate one?
Yeah, the Margate.
Yeah, the Margate's in there. I went to Margate.
Your time at Margate. Enjoying that?
Anyone that listened to the Margate special There's little cut down versions of those interviews in there if you want to read them back, and also a lovely review of the day.
Yeah.
Loads of stuff from Latitude as well.
Yes, a lot of stuff on Latitude, comprehensive, with loads of on-site interviews as well, including with Seagulls, who we played earlier with the brand new track that came out as well. What's that?
Should have mentioned it then, really.
Yeah, probably should have. Anyway, pick up a copy, because also in there, I talked to Oscar Lang in this issue.
All right, mate, we've all done stuff.
And
what did he say about the album?
He said that it was like one of those things which, like, it was like the first real time, it was like the first kind of real time he was working with like a producer on his own stuff, because he grew up, don't want to bring up the bedroom pop thing again, but he grew up being very much a producer who made his own stuff in his own
bedroom pop. Sort of sounds like an American guy saying he's got like two dads, one who like lives with his mum and one who's just bedroom.
He's
pop.
in the bedroom.
Yeah,
that's bedroom pop. That's front room pop.
Exactly.
But yeah,
like his real dad's moved into a bedsit and there's only one room, so he calls him bedroom pop. And he's like, but I'm your real dad, just call me Pop. And he's like, no, I've got a new Pop, he lives with mum. It's very sad. Oscar Lang.
Yeah, and what I was saying is this is like the first that he like made this with a kind of a producer, Rich Turvey, and the result is just like, I feel like a really broad album that perfectly summarizes everything that's great about Oscar.
Covers a lot of ground, doesn't it?
Covers a lot of ground. It goes from the really like stomping indie bangers to more psychedelic stuff, some proper like just like born and bred ballads, proper like songwriter style ballads, and the result is just I think a really, really great collection of stuff, and
a really great intro to Oscar Lang. I think because obviously we've got the context and have listened to those earlier EPs, but with a debut album, obviously you've got to put a statement out there, and you also can't have it so that someone listening feels like they're missing any, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I think this all makes sense completely on its own. Song to song, without it being like, oh, this one's a bit like that first EP. Oh yeah, see what he's done here. It's a bit like, it all just works as it is.
Yeah.
Except for the opener, which scares me a lot.
Is that just the intro?
Yeah, the intro, quite terrifying.
Well, don't worry,
too many noises.
Because the intro goes into an album highlight, which we're gonna play now. This is 21st Century Hobby by Oscar Lang.
What's your 21st century hobby? I like staring.
I got into walks over lockdown, so I guess, is that my hobby?
That's true, you did, yeah. But I think that was more just like...
There's nothing else to do and the pub was shut.
Yeah, you're like, maybe if I walk far enough, there'll be
there'll be one that's open. I think maybe in the back of my mind, I think that was probably there. I was like, somewhere.
You're like, the only part of a night out I can still have is the walk there, so I'll make it as long as possible.
Yeah, because I'll continually will be walking, and it'll only be the slight letdown. I'll be knackered by the time I get back.
Exactly.
So.
Like, I couldn't possibly go
for a pint now. I've got to call it a day. What's yours 21st century hobby?
Staring.
Of course.
Into the abyss, mainly.
Oh. When you stare deep into this album, Jake,
the album stares back.
Are there particular highlights that you enjoy out of what's going on there?
I really do enjoy the variety, to be honest with you, Jamie Muir. No, I am. I wouldn't say I'm surprised, but I'm really glad. It's kind of the best version of this album that I thought could happen.
Yeah,
I do think. It's a weird one to look back on and listen track by track and realize how much variety there is, because I think he really does make it all work. And like you say, I mean, the ballad stuff is not as much my cup of tea, but I still think it works really well. The more classic indie stuff, I think he's always been great at. And then the little psychedelic bits that creep in, as you say, I think they're really great as well. And I'm genuinely excited to see what happens next, because I think there is so much to choose from in this debut, and it feels so accomplished because he's had a few years to work towards it.
Yeah,
that anything he does next, I kind of trust that he's going to know what he's doing.
Yeah, because almost like at the core of it, it's just a really great songwriter.
Exactly,
who just knows how to write an amazing track and just make it very like personal at times, and make it like different. Sorry, Jake is just showing me the album art. Is that thrown you? Is that? There's a lot going on there.
I can't really work out
it's a guitar.
Why I hate it as much as I do.
You're not a fan of it?
No.
It's frying all over the place.
I really don't enjoy that at all. Looks like the kind of thing someone would have spray painted on a camper van.
But that's not a reflection on the music, which we enjoy.
No, I have, and also it's not a bad album cover. I just, for some reason, it really hurts me. It hurts me.
Do you think it's because you've just had your second vaccination?
It might well be.
Disintegrating into the corner of this sofa.
This might be it. It might not be the album cover that's really got to me. Why is this album cover making my arm hurt and giving me a headache?
You're really
this album cover's exhausting me.
The descent of man on air, everyone. But no, back to Oscar Lang, really accomplished. I feel like this is another example, like real like MGMT sort of vibe.
I was going to say MGK then.
he's
yes,
not
the
on
MG. Yeah, I agree on the.
Unless
MGMT
Oscar Lang's got a tattoo of the album name, which Oscar, if you can let us know, please, mate.
Shoot the scenery on the back of his head.
It's really good. But yeah, no, really big fan of this album, and I just think it is like. I think people need to check this out because it's such an accomplished indie pop record that's done
it feels like one of those. It feels like when you go to a new city and you get on one of those tour buses that takes you to all the best bits. Always a little bit of that post-punky stuff. Always a little bit of psychedelic stuff. Always a little bit of indie rock. Oh, here's a little ballad, and you're done. It's
very accomplished, and I think that it's going to really.
I also think it's amazing. It is amazing that it is just Oscar Lang.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like it really feels like. Almost like the work of a band with a lot of different influences behind them. And each song feels like maybe one of the band have had like their crack at it, but all Oscar,
and it's it's a wonderful result. Do you want to play a highlight, Jake?
I do. I really enjoy the track Headphones, Jamie.
Ooh,
so I'm going to play that now.
This is Oscar Lang with Headphones.
Why do you get to introduce it? It's my song. This is Oscar Lang with Headphones.
Pleasure made by engineers calms me down, quells my fears. Stare and stuffy mouth, noise cancels out the shout. My ears are ringing, turn it up too loud. I'm walking home, I put on my headphones. Just me on my own.
That was Oscar Lang with Headphones.
It was Oscar Lang, it was Headphones, and it was Jake's choice.
It was
Jake's choice.
It was my choice.
The Stare.
I told you, I got staring. You got anything to soothe my vaccinated nerves now, Jamie?
No, I don't think.
To see this live.
I don't think this. Yeah. No, I've never done this live in front of you.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Is it? It
is for me. Yeah.
All right then. Tweets of the week. Yes, it has been recorded.
Yeah, I just recorded that.
This is what happens when we're together. This is quite nice.
When we're together.
Do that. How was that in the flesh?
Fine.
Shall I start with the first tweet of the week?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? We're going to start with just another friend of the show. So all I can hear in the background is just me.
Let's do that on mute for you, mate.
Oh, let's start with...
It's a story, so I lose it if I don't do something with it
Of course, yeah, you got to do
something. So if you do the tweet, I'll sort that out.
Yeah. I'll show the time. You sort that out. We're going to start with another friend of the show, Chloe Moriondo, the legendary, who is...
With you in a second.
Who has tweeted... let me just say a background of you. It's a picture of Miley Cyrus that's clearly been unearthed from a wall. And Chloe Moriondo has unearthed from a wall. And Chloe Moriondo has just said, sometimes when I'm angry, I claw at this picture of Miley Cyrus that I put on my bed frame many years ago. Now, this picture it has been worn down.
Yeah, there's
all I'm
been some rage taken out there.
Yeah.
think.
Like a lot of stuff. When I'm angry, you claw. Why is your image to go to claw at Miley Cyrus? And by the way, this is a very young Miley Cyrus. Just want to
It is
flag.
younger
this
than
is
she
like
was
Hannah
when she was.
Montana.
I'd say probably like
Younger.
Feels almost like when she must have first done something.
Yes, done something. Clawing at the wall to Miley Cyrus, an incredible move. What do you do when you're angry, Jake?
When I'm angry, what do? I think just the normal stuff.
What, just...
I won't go into it.
There are legal proceedings that actually stop us from discussing what Jake does when he gets angry. In multiple countries, I believe, actually, as well. We won't talk about it.
What do you do when you're angry? Never seen you angry, Jamie.
I just kind of... I do a little...
Dance, make a little love, get down tonight.
I do a little... That's exactly what I do, yeah. I do a little rant. And then usually, sometimes I scream in a pillow.
Oh, why not scream out loud?
I don't want to disturb anyone.
Okay.
Can't disturb anyone.
You've disturbed me.
And sometimes I'll just close my eyes.
How tight?
Very tight. So it looks like I'm a mole. Like,
oh, yeah.
Burying.
Very moley. Impressive.
That's kind of what I do. Strong.
I actually claw at my photo of Miley Cyrus.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Actually? Yeah.
My state-issued photo of Miley Cyrus.
It's just in case. It's just in case you need it, basically.
And who among us hasn't needed that at some point?
Exactly. If we were to dive in. And also, it feels like just Miley's looking over Chloe here, which is quite nice.
To be fair, I guess if you're angry, she could look quite smug.
Yeah. Are you saying that? So it's not good. So Chloe should change the photo. Is that what you're trying?
Well,
to
I think just feel like if you're angry and you want something to be angry at, like you could easily take that nice smile as being like, "Well, I'm not angry," and you'd be like, "Oh,
why are you so sad?"
Exactly.
You could say that Miley Cyrus, I presume, is one of Chloe Moriondo's favorite acts, and therefore a favorite band, such as the song.
So you're saying the segue here is a person, not a band, who she claws at in anger.
Yes.
That's why you're playing favorite band.
Claw in happiness, claw in life. Claws. This is favorite band by Chloe Moriondo. Want to give a shout out to the Santa Claus line that you may have just heard.
What a film.
Rippling in.
What a film.
What a film. Sorry, you're not just referring to the person.
Do you think the Santa Claus is a Christmas film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Santa Claus.
Okay, what about Elf?
Well, that's a Christmas film because it's an elf in it. So what are you saying? Are you saying that Elf should be part of like the Lord of the Rings kind of
No, just because people say like Die Hard's a Christmas film. It's sometimes hard to tell which ones are.
Yeah. No,
Do you think A Very Murray Christmas is a Christmas film?
I mean...
Terminator 2. Christmas film?
Is that a Christmas?
No.
I guess so.
I don't know. They don't say.
It's a fair point, actually.
I mean,
they don't actually make clear that any of these films...
All Christmas films should start with, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas,
and all non-Christmas films should start with the main actor or actress looking into the camera and saying, this is not Christmas.
This is April. Just tell us what time of the year it is.
It is Christmas, but that is coincidental and not related to the plot.
Do not get it twisted,
exactly.
As they say.
I've got a tweet for you, Jamie. As if it was Christmas.
Another gift.
This is from friends of the show.
Incredible scenes.
Shame.
We really are covering the bases here.
We are.
Of,
the friends of the show.
To be fair,
what we're doing, we're putting out the whole package. If you come on this show, we will play your songs. We'll play your albums. We'll review your albums. We'll play your tweets.
We certainly will. We'll do them all.
And all you have to give us is half an hour of the best part of your life.
Of regrettable time that you'd want to take back over and over again.
Now, Shame have tweeted, feel like everyone's being too harsh on the 100 companies responsible for 71% of carbon emissions. Cut them some slack, guys. And then they followed up with, not everyone can give 100% all of the time. What do you think, Jamie? Are we being too hard on those companies?
On the
companies responsible for killing us all?
I mean, the argument is
sure.
Probably
BP have done 15% of emissions this year, but I didn't recycle that cup because I didn't want to rinse it.
It's true. It's a joint responsibility sort of thing, isn't it? Really, it's like, yes, this company is just polluting into our atmosphere, causing more extreme weather year upon year upon year. But also, I didn't recycle that ready meal carton. So
as I realise I've forgotten my reusable bag on the way to Sainsbury's, I look up to see Virgin's rocket flying through the sky.
Richard Branson leaning over with his middle fingers directly at me,
smoking a cigar and strangling a panda,
saying, "You're killing the environment."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're getting at.
We should
be less harsh on them and more harsh on ourselves.
I think that's very fair.
Speaking of harsh things,
yes.
Here's Harsh Degrees by Shane.
Toys right beneath your hands, 1,000 grains of sand, sit between my teeth, taste the man's eye. You are my puppet master, I am your play toy. This temperature remains to be the last hope of offending me. Harsh degrees, harsh degrees, harsh degrees.
Now that's how you segue, Jamie.
That was done very, very well, to be honest with you. Yeah, I can't complain about that. Fair play.
And
a good night.
We've now reached the end of the show, and I'm still conscious.
You are. Here he is.
Any predictions for
COVID
next week?
Be damned. Any predictions?
Yeah.
I reckon that there's been a spate of like McDonald's meals going on.
Yeah, but only in America.
Yeah, so you've had like Travis Scott, BTS, I think Saweetie.
Yeah, I've got a good idea for one, but I'll let you go first.
Okay. I reckon that the next kind of step is, they're going to bring it over to the UK and they're going to have a Robbie Williams McDonald's meal, which is going to make you want to go to the toilets 27 times, just in line with the 27 toilets that Robbie Williams has.
Or once on 27 toilets. You have to stop between each toilet move.
I just move it around.
Yeah.
What was your idea for a
so you know how a McFlurry spoon has there's the spoon bit and it almost looks like it kind of kinks in at the end.
Yeah. There's always a weird hole as well.
It's the McDonald's Uri Geller meal, and you eat the whole meal with a spoon, and then at the end it bends slightly so you can eat the McFlurry. Joke out there for the Uri Geller heads.
That's not the first time we've mentioned Uri Geller on this show.
He's endlessly fascinating. Uri Geller is so unhinged that I feel like we could get a cease and desist from him somehow.
It's either going to go cease and desist or he's going to appear on the show very soon.
Without us wanting either of those things to occur.
Just a bit. Oh, incredible stuff. Incredible predictions.
I think that's all we've got time for.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Unfortunately, the time is nice. It's been a good time.
You're off to a festival this weekend, Jamie?
I am. Yes. By the time you listen to this, I would have been at 110 above,
wrangling some bands for the show.
Yeah. I will come back with a report for you.
So if all goes well, there'll be some bands on that, and if not, don't.
Yeah. If it goes horribly wrong,
don't come back until you got some bands.
You'll never hear of me again. Those are the two options there.
So that'll be next week.
Yes.
Look forward to that. And remember, guys, if there's condensation on the inside of your double glazing, that means the gas has gone and there's no easy fix, I'm afraid. But you can open up the window to try and clear some of it on a case-by-case basis.